for Lufthansa, SM Brussels. So, like how you got those who use the ticketing system, Amadeus to book tickets, they are registered on the Lufthansa site to be able to book space on the plane to ship cargo. So, if Mr. Paul King contacts EHS and he tells EHS that I have this amount of cargo waiting this to be shipped. EHS go in the system, put the information in, generate the airway bill, pick up the cargo, deliver it to the airport for screening. So here in between, we got to take our time to investigate.
All right. Okay. Take your time. Actually, are you aware that that the legislature knowingly and intentionally made certain aspect of this law non-bailable or criminal crime? Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that is why.
So what is the implication? Why is
charge somebody, especially for a crime that is non-bailable?
Right.
You have to exhaust all avenues. You have to exhaust all avenues to make sure that you
before the arrest is made.
Yes.
Do you know what is called a capital crime? IG. Sorry, I take it back. Because you're an IG, I don't have to ask you that. A capital crime.
It will still require investigation, detailed investigation.
From June 8th, IG from June 8th to today is July 1.
Sir, here I can refer you. Honestly, these investigations, if you look overseas, you look everywhere else, where people have way more sophistication, they take way longer than this.
In this case, you have individuals that you arrested with the drugs. It is not that you discover them somewhere. You did not discover these drugs in the bush or in some warehouse that is not owned by anybody. But you have evidence that certain people took these drugs from someone's warehouse, transported somebody's residence. You know the name of the person who has the residence. They put them in the vehicle and took them physically at the airport. So what is the arrest of these people that took the drugs? The reason why we're asking this is we are aware how DA moves to communities where is suspected of having marijuana, those small drugs, and you raid the communities with no notice, with no court warrant. You move on the communities in our communities and put these people that are victims of the people you are shooting. Please don't argue with me. I'm speaking. If I feel you have the right to come back to me, the people you seem to be shielding. Saying you didn't for me, I'll correct myself. Yeah, people that you seem to be shielding. And the victims, the actual victims, our children that are suffering, are victims of these people, are the one you raiding in communities. Go to post stacking. Go to jail. You see how many young people there? Simply because somebody brought this and they are addicted to it. And they are languishing in prison. Now the people that brought the drugs, you want to take your time because of this. That is why the legislature made this law non-bailable. It gives you the latitude, arrests people, and you take your own time to do your investigation. It's like a murder. If you see somebody killing you, and the person is, you will say, okay, let me go find out what the intention, what else may have the right intention before you arrest somebody to killing. Let me go to a related question. Actually, why there seems to be some preferential treatment for some of this, especially in this case. For example, Paul King. You just told this body that Paul King is the one who has the residence where the drugs were sold, where the drugs were picked up and taken to the airport. And Paul King he will report to your station in the morning, I'm here. He goes back to his business or some other business. Why is he getting some preparation treatment? You are let me go further. People, you arrest at the border of Sierra Leone border. Is that what you do to them? If you go to the communities, is that what you do to our people, our children? Why do you do that? Why? There seems to be a preparation treatment for these people in this particular case. Why?
Honorable Senator, first and foremost, we're not shielding anybody.
In my view, that's why it is.
Yeah, it may look like that to you, but let's confirm it that we're not shielding anybody. And in doctrine, I will make an arrest. I will say who I need a warrant to arrest. However, what you're talking about being preferential treatment, Mr. King is not being treated as any different from anybody else who's in this investigation at this point in time. Senator, I mean, it's difficult that I keep saying this over and over. I mean, this thing, if we rush it, I wish the way how you explain everything made it so simple and easy.
Oh.
You made it so clear. You made it very clear, simple, easy. I would just go to court walking here he with a bunch of drugs to the court, and just tell you what explain to the judge. I said, Chief, I didn't know how to get a drug from. He didn't want to carry it to the airport, like he didn't want to get the court to carry, and they accepted that and just process it. If we do that, they will throw it up.
Who will throw it up? Who will throw it up?
The court will throw it up.
Who? Which court?
The court.
I'll come in. Justice Minister, we invited Justice Minister, please come here. Madam Acting Minister, Madam Acting Minister.
Thank you, Senator Brown, the floor. So interact.
Madam Minister, can you tell the IG and tell this body why do you think the framers of this law made it non-bailable? What is the implication? Question.
Well, crimes that are non-bailable under our law, because we do have people that are in detention for being charged with crimes that are non-bailable.
Right.
It gives the prosecutor.
Bring the microphone close to you.
Yeah. Okay. Crimes that are non-bailable, it gives the state, the prosecutor, Ministry of Justice, the opportunity to prosecute them. And it depends on the degree of the offense.
Okay. So it gives them, if it is non-bailable, the state can effect an arrest. And while that person is in the custody of the state can conduct investigation. Am I right?
Correct.
So why are we not doing it in this case?
Honorable Senator.
That's why I said preferential treatment, because the law gives you coverage. It is not like the 24 hours deadline, 48 hours that you have. You charge, and you can continue with the investigation. Is not billable. So why?
Honorable Senator, at this point in time, I mean, the Ministry of Justice, working this case, it was delegated to a national joint security investigation. So it's not just the police and national security, other national security.
Can we get another view on our law, senators, on the non-bailable aspect?
But presiding pro tem, that's she
yeah, we want to get so that power come back to you. Let's get more on that. Senator Taylor, you want to speak to that? We have to make that clear.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Madam Minister, there's so much colleagues. The issue about a crime being non-bailable is
Use that microphone. They know
arrest is not normally the first thing to do, unless there's a probable cause. Senator, broad issue here, Madam Pro Tem and distinguished colleagues. There's a probable cause established already. You got drug, cocaine. You know the warehouse they came from. You know the carrier.
Right.
If they can't say who it for, then it's for them.
Right.
Prosecute them.
Get in a court. And while they are in your custody, you get the answers that you're looking for. But you don't have the person loose in the streets, in your house, in the night, interacting, destroying evidence. Why is it the why do we, Madam Minister, what is the level of the supervision over the police in this matter? Because you should guide the police, you should guide the securities. So why? You are the chair.
Honorable Senator, as the IG mentioned previously, we have instances of 100 million worth of drugs in Liberia.
Madam Minister should tell us clearly whether in this case, in this instance, these suspects should be arrested in accordance with the law, in accordance with the drug law that says it should not be bailable.
Thank you, Madam.
You have to tell us clearly, you are here as the Justice Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Senators. What I was saying is that we've had instances of 100 million worth of drugs in Liberia. We've also had instances of 50 million, and now we have instances of 19 million. What we want to do is to ensure, because the investigation is going on.
Should the suspects be arrested now?
Yes.
In accordance with that law, we want you to tell us exactly what should be the case in accordance with that law.
Honorable Protect,
To be under custody while they're being investigated. That is the question I want the minister to answer. The ministry to answer. You represent the Ministry of Justice.
Honorable Senators, we're begging for a little bit of time. When we came earlier,
Madam Minister, I was not doing ABC thing where I first asked each of you to tell us why you know the magnitude of being on oath and perjury. Because the hearing doesn't end here. Just a moment hearing here, I've been noted to determine whether you fallen one by being on oath. The question the protest asked and our colleagues asking, as the acting Attorney General of Liberia, the simple thing is, if he arrests somebody, 48 hours to that pass, you should charge them to court. Even on a bailable offense or not bailable offense, once you arrest somebody, you must be prepared to charge them. You can arrest people because it's not bailable, then you keep on investigating because after 48 hours, somebody can find habeas corpus. But in this instance, let me repeat, in as much as this matter is not bailable, in as much as we want you to do your professional job, you get a reason to be here. Because you have the drug, the FOC. You have the place of discovery where it was, where it came from. You can't tell me that you don't have probable cause.
You have the person that took it to the airport.
The people are denying, but they don't want to tell you who it's for, where it's coming from. They mean it for them. Charge them to court. Let me see which court will put it outside. Mr. Ajay, after you're talking, you need to stop it.
All right, let me move on.
Yes.
Let me move on, Protem. This is why one of our colleagues.
Yeah,
thank you, Protem. This is why one of our colleagues said it appears that it's a waste of time. Nothing will come out of the case, but I think we are determined that we have to pursue this matter and make sure something comes from out of it. Because, as you said, Senator Conner spoke yesterday, and that is the fact of it. All of us are affected by this drug strain. Our families are shattered. Our young people So let me continue. RG, in your previous statements, you alluded to leaks in an investigation. Why do you think the leaks are happening? Why do you think so?
Well, that's why we're investigating the motive of the officers who are involved with this particular issue to determine why it happened. And Senator,
and these officers are some of them are members of the, they are the different security forces, right?
Yeah. All the leads came from when it initially started at the LTA before it was elevated to National Joint Security Investigation. Senator, the key thing here, why would we protect somebody against everything that you all have reposed confidently us to do? You, in your wisdom, in carrying this law, you put a key component, which is knowingly. I can see him with this particular drug. I can see him with it. My thing to prove whether this drug belongs to him is to investigate whether he knowingly. That's a key thing.
So IG. So IG. All right. Let me go on from there. I have just two more. Police. The IG should take note, all of you should take note that the public is listening.
Yes, sir.
Young people are watching. The citizens are national leaders. You have taken oath. Fight this crime. The president has spoken about this severally.
Senator, can I share the story of Emmanuel Zion with you, the boy who took the drug to the airport?
Please.
I think it will be very important for this. Emmanuel is a college student. He goes to university. The guy who works at EHS uses the kid every now and then when they have package to pick up, just to go pick up stuff. He makes a little $20 here and there. All he does, we have a package at this location. He goes, he picks it up. Check our taxi, put it in the pay for the taxi, pay him the $20 and takes it to the airport. He goes back and forth. When this was discovered and they called him, he willingly went back to the airport. He went to the airport when they said they needed to open it. He used his key and helped them to open it. When they opened the stuff and they saw what it was, the kid got afraid. He may have run away, but eventually he turned around and came back. Should we just charge that kid who was a nobody in order to leave those? All
right. Let me continue. Yes, sir. Okay, police, I'm right.
I think there's a very important point in this hearing. If we reach to the point where we will say the aspect of that law that says that people should be arrested based on the non-believable aspect. Yep. It has to be interpreted. It has to be interpreted because in that case, if these people should be arrested while they're being investigated, then that has to be done. And the Senate can take a position on that. That's why I keep asking for the interpretation.
Okay.
And that's why we keep asking the acting Minister of Justice, the Senate can take a clear position on that. That if that what the law says, then the Joint Security must take that action. Must take that action and have the suspect arrested, because that's how it's done in the rape cases.
Simple,
that's how it's done with rape cases. You do the arrest before the investigation. That's what
you know how people lie.
Yeah, Senator Taylor, Senator Jana was a lawyer. Senator Tyler is a lawyer. We're here for them.
Can I say something?
I'm still on the floor.
So after Senator Brown, Senator Joseph, and Senator Yan Twine, for now we'll hear from senators who have legal minds to advise us on this aspect.
But our protest,
Yeah.
the non-billable law comes into effect when the person is charged.
Okay.
They have not been charged. I think what Senator Brown is saying, charges to
Simple.
Then,
Okay, so that's the clarity.
Yeah.
Alright, so if they are not charged, and we cannot insist that they be arrested, they have to be charged. Okay.
What was saying? What was saying? You have not
arrest charge.
So what we are pushing is for them to have them charged.
Yes.
And would you be careful of
So that's why we are asking senators for legal minds. And it's already clear that once they are not charged, they will not be arrested.
So let me continue your program. Please let me continue your program. Let me continue.
Then they don't believe.
You must have probable cause to arrest people.
Yes.
And
when they are arrested under a charge that is not bailable, once they are arrested, you got 48 hours to charge them to court. They're not bailable.
yeah.
That bail issue is at the court. But you don't reach at the court if you don't charge them. You don't charge them if you don't investigate. You don't and you don't arrest them if there is no probable cause. We are insisting here there is probable cause.
Of course.
There is NOC of the drug. There's a place of storage. There's knowledge of who was storing it. If our niggas say who gave it to them to store it, and for them, the RTA and the Joint Security cannot tell us no probable cause for arrest. They must not do that.
That's the issue. And we're telling them also not to treat this case.
Alright, so let's keep that for the motion.
Thank you.
Let's keep that for the motion.
Thank you.
And there are more senators.
Thank you, brother. I'm almost done, brother.
Alright, let's keep that for the motion.
I believe the team, it was also reported in the media, in the papers, that prior to the seizure of the 19 plus million, there was another seizure, another consignment that was already shipped around 10 million. Can you confirm or deny this, please?
I cannot confirm that, sir. Especially
There was-
with the amount attached to it. We know that there was a similar shipment, same package.
Okay, there was only the amount you're not sure. Okay, but there was
similar shipment, same package that was shipped before.
prior to the seizure of this. So are you now investigating, or have you let it slide? Are you investigating the prior shipment, the news of the prior shipment?
Senator, this is what the investigation is.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the same actors in our warehouse, they have not changed. So yes,
So it came from the same warehouse.
That's the cargo handling place. Any cargo that is shipped off go through the whatever you review.
We're still doing investigation before we can. Okay, I understand that. Oh, now let me go to the DAORC. Honorable ORC, is it true that you resigned or attempted to resign? It was speculated in the papers. We saw some letters circulating do you care to clarify whether you will resign or you are tempted to resign as OIC of the DEA?
Honorable Senator, that information is fake.
Okay. Have you done any rebuttal? Any clarity publicly?
Officially, yes. Put on my Facebook page and also the institution of the official statement.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, President.
All right, Senator Sam Joseph, followed by Senator Yan Twine.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Protein and Police. While we are with the IG, Mr. LD and Director.
Senator Bonnie, please take us.
How many men do you have at the airport?
At the Bravo International Airport, we have the deployment of over 40 officers.
What's the operation like? Do they have no specific area that they can go to? Are they also in charge of entering the GLS warehouse?
The officers at the Bravo International Airport will run an operational shift, and they have access to all areas at the Bravo International Airport.
Was there any tip given you on previous packages that left the country?
No, sir.
Since you got the information, have you asked your men?
Can you repeat, sir?
Since you got the information of previous packages as such that have been arrested, have you asked your men whether they got any tip and what was the responsibility, what were they doing?
Since we made the arrest on June 8th, I have asked for team on information of previous shipment of that same category. Is that a question, sir?
Yes.
It's all part of the broader investigation that we're going on, sir. Yes, I have done.
You have asked them, were they present and they also allowed the packages to go?
There are operational challenges at the airport, and they are all part of the investigation that's ongoing, sir.
What's the limitation at the airport? I previously asked that. What's the operation challenges talking about?
So, information available to us today is at the screening warehouse. The RI security is the only security that is present at the screening. So when they are foreign image identified, then they call the requisite institution, for example, the DEA will be called, but they are not present at the screen.
Why?
That's why I say it's an operational challenge and it's all part of the broader investigation.
Okay. Do you know of any worker at the airport near Riverside? Is so near Riverside?
Yes, sir.
Where is he?
Riverside with the investigation team.
Why is it born?
No, by Riverside.
That's his name.
Maybe it's Benjamin Riverside.
Where
Andrew over?
Yeah.
This fellow is part of the investigation as he stated, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you spoken to him?
Yes, sir.
Is he safe?
Safe. I can guarantee that safe.
What was his responsibility at the airport?
He's a airport security supervisor.
You were placed on an oath. Are you aware of the activities of the GLS? Some of the activities with Messi?
I don't have prior information on the GLS operational activities, but in investigations, they give me some insight of their operational activities.
Where's the office of EHS?
EHS office is on the Labasi. Sorry.
What's the responsibility of Mr. Paul King to GLS?
The previous GLS, Paul King is a shareholder and also operational manager for GLS, as far as the investigation is established.
Are you aware that Mercy is in partnership and they are from the UK, and most of the packages are going to the UK, and Mercy is from the UK and in partnership with GLS?
We are part of the broader investigation that we are establishing, sir.
What have you established?
We are not yet establishing. So we are still investigating that connection that I just said earlier. This is a broader investigation. We are establishing that, sir.
Director, they have an agreement. There's nothing to be established. They have an agreement. GSL have an agreement with Mercy. Mercy is from the UK. So how is it you're going to establish that? You haven't been able to ask those questions? You haven't requested for those documents?
Senator, is like we said, this investigation is one comment I want to make earlier was the comment that came from the distinguished senator from Grand Creek County. He elaborated on the previous 100, 50, and then 19. And our interest is neither to make the arrest.
I'm not talking about arrest. You and I have a conversation, not arrest. We are not going to arrest. I'm asking you about Mercy relationship to GLS and the packages going to the UK where Mercy is from. With those packages leaving, they are in charge of the handling of the activities at the airport. That's the question I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Because, you know my point. You have Mr. King, who worked for GLS, and Mercy partnered with GLS. And the packages going to the UK, and Mercy is from the UK. That's my point that you say you're still trying to establish.
Our Senator, investigation is a process.
So is that the same company passing through the
Senator, can I give you a little information on that? So at the Roberts International Airport, the ground handling is taken care of by Menzies. Menzies is an international company that runs hundreds of airports around the world, including London Heathrow. GLS Menzies is a sister company that handles the cargo side of it. So when the cargo is delivered at the airport, the facility there that has customs and they have also the RIA security, that's the GLS Menzies facility.
GLS signed an agreement with Mercy from the UK. They are in partnership.
Yes.
So they have GLS
Menzies.
GSL have a conception with the government of Liberia. The GSL contracted Mercy from the UK to partner with them to operate at the airport. The packages are going to the UK from Liberia. The packages left Mr. Paul King House, who is the operation manager for GLS. True or false?
Definitely, that's exactly what I said here earlier. But if you want me to throw more light on it, I can do so. So, you see, that's the reason why this investigation is not like everything else that we've always done. There is a likely possibility, looking at what the contract is, what's the operating procedures of all of these companies and everything, beyond just charging individuals, there could be companies that could be indicted as well. But you have to be able to investigate these things properly. Did Mr. King act as an individual, or did Mr. King act in his capacity as GLS operation manager? Mr. King is claiming that he acted in a personal capacity. So we investigated between that of Mr. King's words.
Excuse me, Mr. Aji, there's no way we allow him to act as an individual.
No, Chief, it's not about us allowing you to act as an individual. It's about establishing because I don't want
He is the operation manager and the shareholder. This is why the packages left his house. Packages are picked up from his house. So no other packages left his house because he called EHS to come and pick up the packages because he acted as the operation manager and a shareholder. That's why he was respected.
Okay, let me tell you what our investigation right now in line with that. Let me tell you, let me put this out there.
Put it out.
GLS, how long have you been doing business with EHS? 2024, 2025, 2026. GLS claims they have not been doing walk-in customer for a while. We are not saying that GLS show proof as to how you've been paying and you've been transacting with Mr. Key, with Mr. Abla. Mr. Abla is right there. He said they've been paying me cash through or from day one straight to now. So we asked them to show proof if there's been any different way that GLS has operated with him that would be different from how our team has been operating with him. So these are the kind of things that we're trying to differentiate before. Look, before you indict the company or that person, you gotta just be able to exhaust all of these things. Nobody's cheating anybody here. I want to put my career on the line for somebody, and these people will be changed to fall exactly where it may. Everybody who's in this particular thing will be charged.
Mr. Aji, no one is acting that you're stealing anyone. That's not what we're saying. We are looking at the responsibility of GLS and Messi. Part of their responsibility is supply chain security at the airport. They control the CCTV camera at the airport. All handlings, goods coming in, they are in charge. The operation manager, the shareholder, is the one that gave the authority of the drugs to be picked up to take to the airport.
Okay, so Chief, let's make a distinction here with that. Mr. Paul King is operations manager for GLS as it is a company. When it comes to the operation of GLS Menzies at the airport, their whole operation.
He's a shareholder.
He is a shareholder of GLS.
So he's part of this.
So yes.
The government of Liberia knows GLS. But then they have a joint venture.
Yes.
They are now in partnership with Messi from the UK.
Yes.
So they are in collaboration.
Yes.
They bear same responsibility.
Okay, and that is why we call Menzies in. Menzies, what is your collaboration with this company? What role does GLS play in this? Menzies says when it comes to our operation, because we are the expert in cargo handling, as far as aircraft safety, everything is concerned, we run the operations of the business. They have people on the financier side. Look, these are all of the things that we try.
Messi is not limited to just a few things. Messi handles the cargo directly.
Yes.
They take care of security. They take care of the both cargoes going in and coming out. Messi handled that. That's why they were contracted, because GSL don't have the capacity. So my point to you, you went to the UK and you came back. You met them, right?
I didn't meet with Messi. I didn't want to be Messi. I was to speak of government.
Okay, the Scottish government, right?
No.
Who?
The British government.
The British government. Were there any issue discussed about Messi that you have a company from your country that is taking care of these activities in the country, in our country, and this is what have happened? Did you reach out to them in this manner?
Sir, our discussion is classified.
Can you speak to this body fully, because we are the people representative? This is another branch of government. We are senators. We need to get every information from you. How do we answer questions outside there?
Well, Senator, you're the people's representative, but in this case, you're talking to me in front of all of the people.
What's your suggestion?
I don't have any suggestion. They just classify at this point in time.
Even us, It's classified information from us.
Yes, sir.
So it went on a camera, you were divulging that.
Well, Senator, as much as I can say, sir, that will not compromise the integrity of the relationship being built between the NCA and the Liberia National Police, sir.
The information you have is the people's intellectual property. So I can use it.
Well, the intellectual property.
Where, by in the UK nationality, what is the nationality? Ba. Who?
Ba.
The person in the UK. Ali Ba.
Usman Ali.
Yeah.
Is believed to be a Brit, based on what we've established with the address and other open source information that we have. But these are the kind of things that we're waiting for a positive response from our international partners for support on that. But we've been able to gather a lot on him as a real person. No, there's no way you consign something to someone in the UK that will not have a government issued ID in that name. That even to go pick it up, it has to be a real person with a real ID. So we're just asking them at this point in time to see how they can identify his whereabouts, so we can see how we can get extradited to Liberia.
Have you checked at Mr. King's residence whether you have more goods to sell to the UK?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Senator, well, we didn't go search whether he had more goods. We went to search to make sure that we didn't find anything of concerns to the investigation, sir.
Can we link the present 19 million case with previous drugs that found that came to the country at 50 million, 100 million? Can we say these are the same source of where they came from?
I cannot say that at this point in time, but that's what we're investigating.
What are some of the shipments? Do you have any information, previous information, on where the 50 or the 100 million drugs came from?
Senator, by then I was running a non-governmental organization. I have absolutely no idea.
Maybe you have the notes.
It wasn't in the note when I got it.
Have you asked questions?
Well, with this investigation, that's part of what we're exploring as to where that came from. And we can't rely on just what we saw there because the wind was through our court. We have to be able to verify all of these sources as to what they say, what the claims are, before I can sit there and put my neck on the line and say it came from John Brown country.
Thank you, Mr. President. Madam President,
Sarah Young.
Thank you, Madam President. Many thanks to the joint security members who are here, taking their precious time to come and answer to the people's representative. I'd just like to start by asking whether anyone here was part of the $100 billion drug investigation in the past. Just for the record. Or anybody in the security sector when the $100 million drug house was discovered. Anyone, please? Yeah, I didn't want to know whether somebody wanted them or
some people here were in government, but they were not part of the investigation.
So there's no one here that was close to that investigation. Because I'm trying to establish a pattern. Because these people were taken to court. And I will ask the Justice Ministry, from your desk review, what happened to that case? The $100 million.
Well, when the $100 million case was before the court, I was in the Ministry of Justice at the time. So, what I heard was that there was insufficient evidence to move forward with the case.
Were they found guilty or the case was dismissed for lack of sufficient evidence?
They were not found guilty, no. The case was dismissed.
The reason I'm asking Mr. Haji is I want to know whether the longevity of this investigation has anything to do with the precedent of the lack of evidence there of the
Honorable Senator, thank you ever so much for such a brilliant question. In studying history to avoid mistakes of the past, there were a lot of lapses, missteps, be it intentional or unintentional, based on capacity that we have seen that caused that case to have not been prosecuted. Based on everything we've seen, there were intentional missteps. So we are working at this point in time, looking at all the mistakes. Yes, it can be because if you train in a certain area, there are certain things that you just, as a trained investigator at that level, there are certain things that you just not supposed to miss in preparing a case to send to court. You got to be able to make sure that what you're sending survives judicial scrutiny.
So, Mr. Haji, having said that, I really like that because we don't want a case, a repeat of this case, such that every T should be crossed and every R dotted. In so far as I'm saying that, how long will it take for us to close the investigation finally?
Honorable Senator, we're looking at in the next few days. Hopefully, between now to the end of the week, we should have people charged and forwarded to court.
Yeah, because Mr. Adi, that should be done because what you have been working for the last 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks, I don't think it is.
Senator, we're beginning our investigation because that's exactly the conclusion that we've come to be able to move forward with this. And definitely, in the next few days, it will be before the court.
The allowance you also have is that there are possibility while the case is ongoing, there could be additional people or institution charged and brought forward.
Exactly, sir.
So that is an allowance for you. So we will have to do that because we ourselves can't answer the question. They're almost looking at it as a whole national, syndicate about this case, and it's just bad for PR. And the DEA, do you have equipment that screen luggage at the airport for drug?
As of today, 0.
Why?
We made a deficit in the budget year. We have resource, we have funding commitment.
What is the budget of the DEA?
This year we have $7.5 million.
And how much you got in operation or equipment?
For operations, for the procurement activities, for example, money equipment, we have, I can't say the figure all right now, but we have funding for procurement of money equipment.
And where are they?
Honorable
Senator,
can we tell you about the capacity improvement in subsequent review? Because I mean, if we start to disclose it right now, definitely.
Mr. Adi, this is shocking to me that we actually fighting the war on drugs with bare hands and they're relying on mere suspicion. Oh, did the man here, you know that he got something, man, come here.
But Senator,
yeah.
does he have an office in the airport?
Why? Who's stopping the DA from having an office in the airport?
These are all the lapses now that we're seeing from this particular issue.
I don't have a problem with my question. One day I answer.
So, you can refer to whoever you want.
Yeah, you can refer anytime, Mr. DA boss. How much do you have in your current budget for equipment? And what is stopping you from buying new equipment?
Senator, I can't give the figure all rightly, but they are funding in the budget for equipment, like it needs more equipment, and the procurement process is ongoing currently.
I'm coming. This budget that we approved for this year and gone 6 months now, you have money in the budget for equipment.
Yes, sir.
That you don't have.
Yeah, but the procurement process is ongoing.
What is the procurement process?
So most of the equipment is now in country, so that we do overseas procurement. Then the scanner, the full body scanner, the baggage scanner.
It been 6 months.
Yeah, but
since the budget was passed. And don't tell me that the PPCC, you pay, you doing that, you could ref for no objection. And those are the reasons why there's allowance in the PPCC law for these kind of things. These kind of highly, needed equipment for fighting drug use. That's why we put no objection in the law. It should be like, since February, you get it. You put somebody on the plane, you ask for no objection, put somebody on the plane, go and get a thing and put it on the plane and bring it. So I don't know. So explain that process to me. Because this is the larger problem we're dealing with here. If we deal with $100 million, $90 million drug issue, people get charged, go to court. I know your job is done. But what happens? There are more than we don't know. If we don't have the equipment to fight it. So I want you to tell this Senate what is holding the procurement process. Don't tell me they are far away. Plane flying in Europe and America every day, if they're where you want to get it from. And I know they're sending somewhere or they can be manufactured within a month.
What is the status of the procurement process and the equipment you're getting? You have the equipment for the airport included?
Yeah, we are getting baggage scanners, full body scanners.
Okay, what is the status?
So the current status is we are about signing contract with the vendor. Current status.
Mr. Adi, I want to the joint security here. Every one of you doing your best, sleepless nights to make sure that we are safe. And part of what is polluting our country is the drug. I want the joint security to take this matter seriously. Just as you people elevated this whole case to a joint security level, you people should raise this equipment level at that level. Because it is serious. If we don't have scanners in the airport, then what are we doing? What are we fighting? Do you have sleeping dogs? Do you have trained dogs to sleep drugs? Why not?
So if this one
No, but I have to ask. Is that not been to the airport? If you have them in a room, where before the bed get on the plane and they're doing that job there. So I can just conclude that we don't have some. And if we don't, why don't we have them?
we don't have those in even for Liberia as a country, we don't have them. So it's part of the development to have canine units for the security sector.
These are equipment and help that really fighting drugs in the Western world. Everyone will have travel. If you want to line, you got these silver dogs that will just pass and they are free to do these drugs. So we should also look at that. Justice Ministry. Why was Michael Brown
The distinguished senators, please protect Senator Yantuan.
Why was Michael Brown signed for by a lawyer from the court?
He was actually signed for from the police station and not to the court because the case hasn't been forwarded to the court yet.
Mr. Aji was signed for from the court, and the prosecution arm is telling us that no, the case didn't reach the court.
The minister is acting instead for the agent, but she's not versed with past stuff. This case about Marco.
She didn't mean for words and
She's very clear. There are two cases. The case of Marco Brown and the sample from the court was a case about a year plus ago. It was a different case. He was forwarded to court. And then from the court that he was released. As of yet, we haven't found Marco Brown.
Madam Minister, I'm talking about the previous case.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want this whole thing, I don't know about it. If you take over Marco Brown by now should be heavily profiled by the Minister of Justice by now.
I'm sorry, Senator, what I heard, because Michael Brown is involved in two cases. The first case when he was
signed for from the court.
Yes, and this case.
I'm taking this somewhere. Yeah, so I just need to know why was he signed for by the lawyer from the court?
Can we
a decision that was made by the court. And the court has the authority to do it in that instance, and they made that decision.
Let me ask you, madam, are you aware that Justice Ministry as a prosecutorial arm of government can charge a judge and prosecute them?
Yes.
Do you know that?
In the instant case, it wasn't done with.
I'm just asking you, are you aware that you are capable to charge a judge and prosecute them?
I know the judge can be taken upstairs to the Supreme Court if there is misconduct.
That's not my question. Are you aware? Can you prosecute a judge?
If the judge is involved criminally, yes.
Okay. So why was Michael Brown released by a judge and the prosecution arm of government has not yet made any move?
Right.
The reason I'm saying that you people making the law enforcement job harder, the recycle criminals in our jurisprudence is too many now. So I need to know. The same Michael Brown came back now with maybe that other girl was small, he came back now with 19 million. Who knows next? Now he's alive. So we need to know from the Ministry of Justice. Because once the police charge someone and send them to the court, you take over. You are the prosecutor. You're supposed to be liaising with the court. And what I see here that's happening between the Justice Ministry and the court does anything it wants in this country without the prosecutor filing up on anything.
Hey, let's see, they're talking impeachment.
Explain that to me, please.
Honorable Senator, when a person is charged criminally, the person goes before the court. The court makes a determination whether the person is guilty or the person is innocent. All Ministry of Justice can do is to provide the pieces of evidence to tell the court, this is what we have, we think is sufficient enough for you to convict this person. And if the court, whether it's bench trial or jury trial, says that we don't think you have sufficient to convict this person,
that was not the case with Michael Brown. Don't lecture me about that. I know the process, so please don't lecture me about that. Tell me why was Michael Brown released? Simple. And if so, I want the Senate to be on record for the Senate to consider and protest that we do an extra hearing about, the prosecutorial role of the Ministry of Justice and the recycle criminals that we have. Because it's very, very serious. And what really happened to Michael Brown and who released Michael Brown? There's been an inquiry to know exactly how Michael Brown was released. Because drugs can really fight back. We know how to fight back through money. And we're not sitting there and pretend about it, Michael Brown, but there was some cow that here walk out of jail. No, somebody released him based on something.
Honorable Senator, you are correct at this stage. There is not sufficient, or there's not much that I can say concerning Michael Brown, but as it has come up, that is something that we're going to consider as we administrate and bring the information forward.
Madam President, I have no further question, but again, I would like to repeat my point that there should be an inquiry about how Michael Brown got out of jail, who was the judge, who was the prosecutor, so that we get to the bottom of it. Because this is the same guy who got us here today, in fact. Right.
So that point is accepted, and we'll ask the Judicial Committee to start that investigation. The Judicial Committee, please take note.
How Michael Brown left.
To start that investigation, we'll also ask the Joint Committee on Ways, Means and Finance and Security and Defense to work with the DEA boss to push the issue of the equipment. So we can make sure, because as much as we are here to hold the Joint Security accountable, we're also here to find some solutions to make sure that the aspect of the equipment is treated as an emergency, so we have it in the country as soon as possible. Senator Manning, followed by Senator
Thank you, Madam President.
You still want to talk?
Mr. Aji, when I was in grade school, when I was at the technical college in the Bahamas in the late 80s. travel to the United States with drugs contained in his suitcase. And it is believed that he unknowingly, which is understandable when people traveling in the things, it is believed that he unknowingly conveyed the password to the States. And the security held him responsible. Yes. Negligence will not be excused. That's it. Negligence, ignorance will not be excused. We are at the point where the citizenry and some of us, I included, believe that it's inconceivable that $20 million worth of drugs would transit to Liberia.
Bonnie, get closer to the microphone.
Thank you. I'm saying we in this country, to a large extent, believe in simple words that people at the highest level of government are supposed to move drugs through the country. Because it's inconceivable that somebody whose business is drugs or dealing in drugs in Europe or in Asia or in South America will send a drug to Liberia without getting assurances from people in high places. It's inconceivable. You're right. I mean, if you were involved in it, you would not send your $20 million worth of business to Liberia depending on one ordinary man at the airport. It's inconceivable. No. Nobody will do that. Nobody will do that. Because then you're not involved in the business. You just going to, you will not take that kind of risk. It's inconceivable that people will do that. So the perception, which is well funded, is that people in high places, given the magnitude of the amount involved, must be contacted to provide safe passage for this. Do any of you, before us, disagree with this logic? Do any of you disagree with this concept, this logic? Do any of you disagree? Huh? So in other words, you and the people in the country think the same way.
Honorable Senator,
Yeah.
Definitely when I read the opening remark, I did mention state and non-state actors. So definitely, look, your logic is 100% correct. And that is why this investigation has to be thorough.
Yeah.
To be able to get to whatever the chip falls.
I agree. So firstly, let me say to you, by that logic, the country expects big heads to rule, and not just the ordinary people in the street. Do you agree? So you have a huge responsibility, and public confidence is important. Why it is important that you are meticulous in your acquisition of pieces of evidence, you also do not want to erode public trust. And that's the reason why the lawmakers, to give you the room, legislated the law that provides that you should proceed with charging suspects. Let the court be the one to do that. Then you instill trust and confidence because you are operating from the backdrop of a mindset already. You have a mindset. So you have an individual, whether he's an agent or he's the principal, who decides to take whatsoever was conveyed to him to his house, completely separate from his business place. If that is not a probable cause, then what else is a probable cause?
I don't understand. Just don't understand.
If that is not a probable cause,
Resident?
I mean, even if they were at the office, he has minimally some responsibility, minimum. But in this case, as opposed to the parcel being kept at his place of work, the facility of the entity, it was formed at its personal property. That does not necessarily suggest he knew what was in it, but that alone is a probable cause for charge. That's the reason why I mentioned the story of the lawmaker who was arrested and prosecuted. You have no cause. We cannot tell you, Mr. IG or Minister of Justice, go to charge. That's not within our responsibility to do. But from the questioning, the public will see through your action and develop a perception. And that is not good, in my opinion, for you. Because when the perception is that you are shielding people, nothing you say matters anymore. Nothing matters anymore. Then the country is inching towards chaos. So for the sanctity of the country, you have a responsibility to charge the individuals. Let them get the lawyers, and let the lawyers go and free them. When we believe that the judge, like Jan said, operated outside of his term of reference, we have a responsibility as a legislature. That will the checks and balances come in. So I would think, given what we are against, as much as you decide to be meticulous, that negligence, whether it was negligence or it was intentional, to have just taken those things to his house, irrespective of who took it there, is business for charging him, in my opinion. And I mean, even if you decide to do further investigation, I mean, let him understand. He will go there and prove that, oh, he won't go there against you personally, but the country comes first. We have to do that. And that will be my intervention on the issue of charging. You need to charge those people. You have the basis to do that. Let them go and exonerate themselves. Because you can instill public trust. The belief is that the time you are taking to do meticulous work is being designed to actively shield other people. I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe that's the case. But there was the perception is leading. And when you get the perception to arrive there, anything you say doesn't make sense again. So I don't want you to do that. On the issue of the DEA, we understand the challenges. And when I hear my colleagues talk about you need equipment at the airport, the people will just laugh at us. Because you have several bullet points around the country. Say, okay, since they have told us this is where they're going to put all the cameras and all the dogs, someone posted certain tribes shouldn't be there for using dogs. But the thing is, we're not just talking about RIA. I'm a man. The thing is, we are not just talking about RIA. We are talking about several bullet points. And so we will always need to equip you. But my concern is that the same perception issue. You know, on this earth, we are made to believe and we seem to accept that the country most renowned for upholding human rights is America. At least that's what we are made to believe, or at least that's what we believe. They respect the rights of the citizens and the citizens of other people within their borders. The laws are there, but they have decided they have to give the perception or make the people to know that they are extremely serious about drugs. To the extent, just on the basis of suspicion, they fire at people on the water and kill them. Just on the basis of suspicion. So they are not better placed to tell us anything if we decide to go with full force. We have to do that. You have to give the perception to ordinary people in the country, not just by your car moving back and forth, that you are serious. And thus far, we haven't got that impression about you. If you arrest cars and you decide, you know what happened? In line with the law, this is what I'm going to do with the car, let him go to court. That's not your place to say, oh, maybe the driver didn't know. What that does is that it conscientizes every driver or car owner to be more mindful. Because you can be everywhere. So it is that lesson that you will send. Just driving around, and that is not to suggest you're not doing your work. But the country hasn't got that sense yet. Because we want to see people who have vehicles conveying these things crying. Then we say you are working. If the car is just parked and then the next day, so you sell the car, you take the car, you sell the car, you can arrest the car, you sell it. Then go to court and say the government will sue the government to replenish the money for the car. They don't do that. Once you do it 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, then you deter. You see it? If you are concerned about the rights of the driver, the rights of the car, the rights of everybody, here they got the rights, but they got recourse under the law. So you have, in my opinion, you have to act. The Americans, you know, I'm from, I was never part of the NPFL, but I'm from the NPB background. Yeah, I'm from the NPB background. No, that's the same difference. The NPB are the political people. I was never part of the NPFL. But in Liberia, after Chancellor took over, we have more arms in the country than ever before in our history. But the way they move on armed robbers alone was sufficient to deter armed robbers. We have more arms in the country than any time in our country's history. When he took over, and he said the same thing they're doing with firing kidnapping people on the ocean, arresting presidents. He said, we will act, they're going to go. So you have to act. You can't be afraid to act. The people will overwhelm us because they are a very powerful group of people. You have to act. So listen, DEA, you and your people, we got a sense that all the pick up, that nothing. We won't see you. Let the whole country realize that no, it's risky for you to. Anybody put in your car, you gotta know what you're doing. Anybody put in your car, anybody bringing goods, you gotta know what you're doing. Nobody gonna arrest my car here and sell it. As long as you arrest the car, it's proving you sell it 2-3 times, no problem will allow that. So my opinion is the country has a perception, and you people have to change that perception, or else the fight is lost. I stop there.
Thank you, Senator Brown. Any comment or response to that?
Senator James Pania, Maryland County.
Thank you ever so much. I think the point is well taken. The analogy you gave here has been even used in our investigation as well, and with specific reference to culpability on this particular issue, so you are only 100%. I know there's been concern about the rape law and the probable cause due to arrest. When we investigate a rape issue, the first instance of probable cause will make arrest immediately. In a transnational criminal investigation, arrest is not the first thing that we do unless there's operational imperative. And what does that mean? It means that if there are actions that could materially damage the investigation or threat to public safety, then we come in and arrest immediately or temper with a successful prosecution. In this case, waiting, apart from the public sentiment and everything, in order to have a proper and successful prosecution, this particular time in interval, as for let me say pronounce it over the week, you are definitely here for us. We are just trying to make sure we do what is right. It's not arrest in the first instance. And I will encourage the smart senators, you entrusted us, you as a matter of fact, stand here and approve us, confirm us, because you believe in our ability. We'll not let you down. What we're doing, we're following it based on the dictates. If you go and check transnational criminal investigation, especially with narcotics, it will tell you that. So I beg you all, we're looking at the next few days, definitely there will be arrest made. But I beg you, just go out.
So you're asking for less than 1 week?
Yeah, less than a week.
Less than 1 week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Less than a week. Well, I'm just representing.
It's getting by job security. And no objection to that. So that means that before is that next week? Before next week Friday is
Before next week Friday. They said before next week.
I said few days.
Before next week.
He said what a week is.
Alright, so before next week should be before. Alright.
My brother.
Let's hear from will that be definite?
My brother. Before the week ends, there will be people charged and placed
before the weekend.
This week. Before the weekend on Saturday.
So before the weekend. Thank you. Senator Sobri, 5 as the principal. I can't find
Thank you, Lieutenant. And colleagues, Mr. Aji. Mr. Brown.
Senator Sobri,
So, Mr. Aji, I heard you to have said that the people you saw in the video footages are not people who are capable of controlling 19 million. What does that mean? What does that mean? Are there not different stages in these cartel functions and functionalities? What if that many job is put to transport from here to here? So you investigate and say they make 15 million. So you're not there. Is that it?
Honorable Senator, I said exactly what I said, and I mean exactly as I said. We're not excusing anybody. We're saying everybody will be arrested based on the role that they play. But I'm saying beyond those people are key actors who are responsible for it. So we're not being distracted to just look at only those people, they test it out, they handle, and then leave the main actors behind. The senator just said it. State actors, non-state actors, everybody. This is a distraction. All of this noise back and forth is a distraction to make sure that this investigation leaves all the key people. That's what this noise is about. And will not leave out anybody, all those who are attached to it, they change the four-way way. Thank you, sir.
Aji, I'm quoting you. You said these people don't look like they have the capacity to own 19 million. That's what you said.
And I mean exactly what I said.
That is not the way to investigate these things, because these small fishes can lead you to the big ones.
But now you say that you people the small fish immediately and the big one. No, but that's not one of the small fish to tell what a big fish is. But at this point, basically you say to me, just take a small fish and get a small fish. And
you spoke of capacity. Let me ask you, how did you quantify the drugs to be 19 million? What method did you use?
So we have partners with UNODC. We do the weighing and we use the street value based on where it was designated for.
So we are told in the streets that it's up to 50 million. You're telling us it's 19 million. Now, in the absence of these periodic updates that we spoke about earlier, you leave room for speculations. And that in itself is dangerous to our survivability. You also said you got intelligence about the drugs. We are told that the entity at the airport, GLS, arrested those drugs because of tonnage disparity. That's what we are told. So where did your intelligence lead to how did it so fast for these drugs?
So the first thing, Senator, I think we're called here because we should have more facts than people in the street. So what you're told in the street is unsubstantiated information. What I'm saying here to you is the fact that can be verified. GLS did not arrest the drug at the airport. GLS did not arrest the drug. The drug was sitting there. It was the security, same RIA security. So let's look at the procedure. If a cargo comes to the airport and it has weight discrepancy, and for any reason that cargo cannot be shipped because the weight discrepancy cannot be resolved before the loading time of the flight, that cargo remains there. It is rebooked. On the day that it is rebooked for, the security take it back and it reweighed. So that cargo did not make the flight because the weight discrepancy didn't happen. Also, it wasn't on the day that it was shipped. It was the security on Sunday. It was booked for the next Friday, which is the standard day that the show.
The lady you are talking about, like you said, in your custody.
I'm talking about no lady.
Yes, you spoke about a lady. You said she in your custody.
I didn't mention no lady.
No, not now. You spoke about it before.
I did not argue with him.
You said it before. You said she was
security stamp on it.
Yeah, okay, before, yeah.
Correct, and that's why I'm quoting. That's why I'm writing when you're talking. And so that lady, it was the lady who said that she put clear on the bat.
Yeah.
But there was a weight disparity, and that was the guy from River Says. River Says. It was River Says who came from what y'all told us here when you came. That River Says was instructed by a fellow who was in China. Right? Who was in China and was expected on Wednesday, Mr. G.A. Am I correct?
Well, that when we said what we said, even though you're not putting us right, it was in camera, and I'm not going to speak about it here, sir. Confidential.
Mr. Chairman, I beg you, maybe you should tell me what not to ask and what to know. On a serious note, these are things that are affecting these people.
So let us go ahead. Don't argue with anybody outside of this.
So here's a question, Mr. Aki. Here's a question.
Yes, sir.
If I'm supposed to travel outside the country, and while trying to book a flight, you caught me with a parcel that had drugs inside, what do you do to me?
I warn you.
So why are you not arresting these people? Who had the drugs?
And Honorable Senator, I will repeat. In a transnational narcotic investigation, arrest is not the first thing you do at the first instant, unless there is operational necessity. Arrest is not the first thing you do. What is your objective? Just to arrest those who got a finger on it at the moment? If these people were flight rates to jeopardize the investigation, yes, we arrested all of them immediately. But at least we got into a place where we know that they are present and cooperating. If we rush and arrest, all the people on the drug will be walking around free while the people be lingering in jail. Yes, they did play a part at different levels. All of them will be charged according to what they did. But we're not just going to be distracted and just pick up those who played part of the study, just used to move stuff around. Why we leave those who are major actors out? I think that is where we're trying to get to.
Mr. Aji.
Yes, sir.
The public confidence is being eroded. We hear this every day on all of the social media. To the extent where the video that you have to ascertain carries from the court for you to get that video. It's all over the place. How do these people get it too?
Well, Chief, I mean, I wish I could say it, and that's why I mean, for these leaks and stuff, there's a separate investigation ongoing.
Madam President, this issue.
Raise your case.
No. This issue is placing our country in the international community list as being a transit point or a drug producing country. We need to do something about it because we fought to get this image to where it is. On that note, I will rest.
Thank you, Senator Moy, followed by Senator Jala, and Senator Dopo, and Senator Dopo and Nasi. No other
Thank you.
name on the list.
Thank you, Pro Tem.
I have you call my question. Go there.
Thank you. I'm not a lawyer. Thank you. Tonight in the courtroom. Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, I will be very brief because most of the hard questions have been asked. So the IG, I see you taking on most of the questions. Why are you not proactive in providing information to the public as you have always done?
Honorable Senator Dillon made a point here before today, explaining about sometimes the way they declare your asset, if you got nothing, don't declare it. For us, our information management, every time we come out to say something, we must have something substantial to give to the public. Where we are, as of the moment that we have not spoken, is everything we know at this point in time. If we speak it, it could jeopardize the investigation. That's the only reason why we have not spoken. We want to have something conclusive to let it go. But he gave me a key point. He said, come out, even if you don't have anything left for the investigation, is still ongoing and stuff like that. So I take due note from that, and like I said, they will definitely hear from us.
You know we do the file case.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. With that said, I mean, like, all of them have said I came a little late, so I didn't know that you have answered that. But realistically, like, all the other speakers have said, we have been bombarded by our constituents on this particular drugs matter. So we are not going to leave it the way things are happening here usually. So as a matter of joining all of those that have asked questions, we will be watching. And I think we'll put in all the different efforts. The president has already charged the committee, the joint committee, to look into all the different equipment procurement issue. And I think we'll be ready to do that. While we're fighting the case, we have to be on the other side to ensure that we have the kind of equipment that will protect fire and occurrence. So, President, I'd just like to make a few words.
Thank you, Senator Moore. Senator Jala, followed by Senator Joko.
Well, thank you, Madam President. I want to say thank you to the Joint Security and the Attorney General Office for putting in some time to respond to our invitation. You know, I feel very happy today. About 20 years ago, when we contemplated forming the Drug Enforcement Agency, it was like a myth. So, the first part I see here is the DEA is not autonomous. It's not independent by itself. Now, the first part I see, you have the police running the DEA state. That was the first suspicion test. Thank you, too. Because we authorized, there was a West Africa project to harmonize all the law on drug trafficking, establish the agency in all the countries, 16 countries. It was a West African project by the United Nations Development Program. That's why they had the UNDCP and all of these institutions. The only person who really can, among all of you can verify that would be the director of the EPS. You know what I'm talking about and what we come from with this. So, let me start with my first question now, after the preamble. Is Liberia a member of Interpol or is related body?
Honorable Senator, good afternoon. Thank you. I'm proud to announce here to the Senate that as of last week, Liberia's full rights and privileges to the Interpol was 100% restored, including voting and access to the regional bureau in Abidjan, after paying debt, getting debt cancellation, and paying some monies that were owed since the war.
Okay, maybe I will not ask the question as to whether you have linked Interpol into this investigation, given the range of suspect transactions that within the UK and all of these places, because you just joined Interpol after suspension.
Use the microphone.
Senator, we still have access to the R247 which of course, yes, we have been able to use that. But in this case, if you're asking Interpol for help, take for example, we got this Usman Ali, who is in the UK, and the Rahim Bar. You need to give some information, at least including the passport or something, before you can activate it to that Interpol level. That's why we ask partners to be able to identify them. Once they send that over, we can get it in the Interpol system.
Okay, Mr. Director, in your criminal investigation, there is something for assessment before, during, and after the fight. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
How is it applied in this case?
Sir, this, like I keep re-echoing, this is a complex investigation. A complex investigation. It's not treated like ordinary investigation, sir.
I know that as a former director of the Drug Enforcement Agency, but it doesn't mean it should not be done. Yeah, I'm the former director of the DEA, that's a fact. But what I'm saying is, you gotta have these layers. Assessment before the fight, when you get intelligent information, you move on to the scene, you do arrest, the person is established. There's an assessor during that process also. Maybe at some point in time you can deal with those tables, those two tables, and proceed to after the fact. Am I correct?
In regular investigation, yes, sir.
So the DEA investigation is not regular?
Sir, this particular investigation is not just a DEA investigation, and the reason why you even see me here speaking is because this matter was elevated to a national joint security investigation led by the police and the DEA.
I still maintain that you don't have a DEA. The DEA is a police director, in a way. Secondary to the police. And we have emphasized historically that the DEA must be independent of the police. That's what the problem is. The DEA must be independent totally of the police. They come in on collaboration, based on invitation. They come in for backup. If there's a gun shoot and all of that, you can call them for backup. But the DEA has to be able to do this job and be independent. That was how we perceive it in 1996. 97, 98, and 2000. We took the drug people from the police, from NSA, from all the places that wanted to run under the DEA. So that's the first thing we have to correct. And it should start from this investigation. Because if the DEA is just there to say yes or no, or give clarification, we're going to repeat this mistake again in the future, or if there's another mistake coming. But let me go to my next question. Has there been any, maybe I was not here earlier. Okay, if there was, if the answer question is asked, somebody can guess who deal with that, I will pass on. Has there been any independent forensic analysis completed on this case, on this issue?
Yes, sir, and it's still ongoing.
No. When you see that was the 19 million, have you done forensic analysis on that?
Samples have been shared with partners, sir.
So you don't have forensic facility to do that, right?
No, sir.
That's why you skeptical of go to court. Because your evidence.
No, but excuse me. I mean, if it's testing to know the substance, yeah, we got test kit to use to know what kind of substance it is. But when you're talking about detailed forensic analysis, that would require like a composition to know where this drug was made, which country it came from, what the marking on the box, which cartel it could be associated with. Those are things that that require further analysis. But for analyzing to know what it is confirmed that it's cocaine.
My respect to you, sir. You have a connection, you have partners with the national partners, in the national country. If you have some complication, have you requested countries that will help you fast track this forensic analysis for prosecution purposes?
Yes, sir.
Now, how did you come in contact with it? I mean, you explained that in a way, but was there intelligence that led to this, or was that based on routine inspection? So, can you repeat your question? Did you come across intelligence for moving on this matter, or was that based on routine inspection? Or just solely on routine inspection?
Both. We have ETL also working, but this one was routine inspection.
This drug, from your eyeballing research, is it made in Liberia or was imported? Okay, so I will go back. I asked this question earlier, but it's completed. What international criminal networks may be connected to this ship?
Honorable Senator, like I mentioned earlier, until there's detailed forensic analysis to know the chemical composition, because like, if the DEA, US DEA do the analysis, they can tell you which lab, which country that particular stuff comes from. We don't just want to assume. Yeah. At this point in time.
No, I'm not suggesting that you should assume. I was even giving you as well. You have other international partners to help with this, like the US Embassy.
Yes, sir.
You working with them on this?
Yes, sir.
Because one reason why the cocaine, I think it was about 100 million on the Saudi administration that was replaced, is because the French captain of the ship, from which the cocaine were intercepted, were not brought to testify in court. That single reason, the case was dismissed, unremanded. Yes. So, have you contemplated on any attempt to do access to prisoner access? Is that, do you see anything in that direction?
Well,
as a result of this?
At this point in time, no, Senator.
Okay, before I close, before I close, let me make it clear that the CEA equipment purchase is not a matter of issue, because under the PPCC law, the security are exempted from the regular competitive bidding process. Right. And then you can ask for sole source. Okay? You can ask for sole source. The PPCC cannot delay you for that. You don't need even any intervention. Just like that, this is a security equipment. We want exemption. We want to do sole source. They will give it to you. So, having had a long day, let me allow the process, since we have a timeline.
That speech you make it out.
We have 4 more senators. Yeah, we have a presentation after this hearing from LEC.
Are they here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Distinguished Senator, I'm coming from this standpoint where I believe that the DEA and the national security, I believe that it can help us to move the bottom of this matter, except I'm proving all little possibility that. However, I researched to know that Euroshaku and the Nigerian federal or Boko called Chibu Yome, they were associated with the more than 100 million or 2010 booking loss in Liberia, and they were taken to American custody in the USA. I was also told that one of the individuals associated with the operation plane was seized in value of $35 million. I'd like to know, did Liberia benefit from that? That seized plane of $35 million. Is there any record? I'm asking a question because the cocaine thing we're talking about so is not made in Liberia, coming from outside. We are involved making sure they don't like the push So now on the street, easy to care about people who are different. So we are involved into the fight, and I just want to know when these things happen. So we need to support our security forces to seize these things. As a result of Operation Elan, do we benefit the country? I want to know.
So from that plane, as far as I know, I've already benefited.
Are we also aware any information that one of these people that were placed in U.S. custody, whether they were sent to court, they were found guilty and sent to prison?
Yes, they were sentenced to between 5 to 33 years.
But for the money issue, probably not already.
Well, where you generate the money from? I mean, it was cocaine.
No, I mean the plane, the asset of the people. In the value of the
family. Right up here, were caught up here. The plane that was seized here once. Yes, I think it's going to be 2010 keys.
You don't have to answer. You don't have to
So let's check on that and give you more details.
Yeah, because
why you think you did not benefit.
Yeah, it's over in the future. We're making new laws, we're making things, and we want to see how we benefit too for the fight. I'd like to ask a question. What was specifically in the Minister of Justice here? What was specifically the ruling the jury? What was the ruling on the $100 million case regarding the continuing, refusing continuing? What was the ruling? What was in the ruling? What is it was there that we are looking at today?
Honorable Senator, the RG mentioned that there were errors that were made then that we try to prevent now, and those errors caused the case to be dismissed. So there was no jury trial, there was no conviction in the $100 million.
What was the specific error?
I don't know of it now.
I need to know it because over that will be asking questions, forcing you to do some things that you shouldn't do based on what you are seeing from the ruling. Because you are, in my mind, you are taking your time because there were past cases. There was one of those that Senator Jala said that the court is based the case because the being there to get it would not come before the court. I also said that anyway. So, no, I just answer this case. I'm saying, look, but based on previous cases, that's how you can be careful as to how you move with the next case. That's why I asked the question, what was the specific error being made? Okay, because we all get some probable cause. Somebody took Fusin continued to a place, and the drugs were in the left place, and were being grabbed with 200,000, and the forces went there, and they saw the people who were trying to grab the man for the continuum of drugs. Is it not a normal case then? So I let them know why is it that the police, the court, dismissed that in the context of how we read the law of a probable case on $100 million plus. When the people are dead, maybe we need to learn from that jury or reasons for dismissing the case. We want to know for a while so we can learn tomorrow, so we don't put you on the stand in the way that we think, but on the basis of what you are seeing and you are afraid of, so you don't lose the case. The second issue is that there was a $200 FOC. In that case, where did that money go? Is that a record? In the same previous 100 million, 200,000. 200,000. Is that a record, past record on those? That I don't know what the president government account.
You have any information on the
Yeah, because I'm speaking from the background of supporting our people, and they are going to the fight. And when we realize something, not the proceeds of the drug, because we're not going to sell it, but the proceeds of properties associated with conveying the drugs, then we have to account for those. We are going to the whole thing, yes, we see some things that I just want to know how they're going to address that, because it's imposing, that we can, make sure that everything that is on the way, we can grab it. we're talking about, you know, the warehouse that has the drugs in it, if you reach a point where the warehouse is responsible for the warehouse, whatever the number of know that it is an asset or very good for the government. I look for that same point because DA want money. We're getting $7.3 million. Tomorrow I'll get every man to 10 or 15 million. And those things that will come out of the trust fight, we also have account for it properly. For my last question. The code ruling is based into decency, so for yeah. I'd like to know Mr. RG.
Yes, sir.
You say in your statement here on the record that you are now currently you are not at the arrest stage, but you are elevating. I mean suspect stage, but you are elevating. So within a week time or so, you will not be able to arrest because you cannot arrest the person of interest, but you can arrest the suspect. You reach that level. You get to that level.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next week, or you say the end of week, that we'll get to that stage. You know, are we talking about everybody for the sake of the public, or those who may reach that level? I don't want to be clear because more who see if you got 4 or 5 persons, then we'll go see that only 1 person. What are you saying?
I can't speak to that immediately.
No, I'm not saying to the number either. I'm saying, should we expect just the same number or expect what is right?
As far as the investigation is concerned, every culpable actor at whichever level in this particular transaction will be charged, whether in person or in absentia.
The last question. When they give you one or the when does the thing they call security? When does it end at the airport? When you enter the plane first? Security. Now, how people asking questions about when do they stop, because the thing was seen, the security get involved, or so. But where does it stop? For me to lose anything without normal security.
Security doesn't stop at any point. Even on the aircraft still has its own security. So security covers you throughout a flight to your destination. As soon as you reach the next airport, you continue even there. But if you're asking, I mean, like on our side at the airport, once you screen and you go through, they cut that ticket and send you to the jet bridge, our security have done their part and you over to the airline. But it's intended that we should have met all of the requirements.
So these jobs did not pass security. These jobs did not pass security.
Well, at the scanner where this drug was scanned, we have RIA security officers there.
So you work jointly?
No, we're not in that scanning room. And that was one of the issues we noted immediately when this incident happened. I mean, for a facility of that magnitude, or especially that kind of giving, it was a serious negligence to have only one security body there monitoring that scanner. Because the scanner got two different monitors. So you either have one national security actor and RIA security. Yeah, because I mean, it's more difficult. It's more difficult to convince the two than to convince one in one entity. So I mean, that was one of the actions that we took immediately to correct it. That we have national security actors at that point.
Okay, it's my understanding that the concession at the airport was ratified during election year 2017. And it's been a while. Okay, I think it's important for the Senate to look into the concession to address some of the issues, those things that will be both security, and other implications to know how do we advance the activity, because probably there are components of that agreement that will say you can't do this, and the LNTR or NTR or what you call it. So you will see some of them not seeing it. Maybe it will help in the future as to how to strengthen security presence at all levels. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
other people who we do not have any identity on at this point in time, so we cannot send anything to Interpol without the proper identity. Those who are within the country that we're looking for at this point in time is just the markup. Right now, we're working with the passport division to provide passport for Mr. Oscar Brown, who traveled to China and did not return to the country based on his alleged involvement into this matter.
So it's been more than 2 weeks. What is the role of how difficult is it for foreign ministry to give you copies of the passport?
No, but that's not the issue. That's not the hold-up in the investigation. It's not a hold-up. At this point in time, even with the copy of the passport, foreign ministry being quite cooperative. We send information and send it back immediately. Even with a copy of the passport right now, until you charge them and you have that return charge sheet, that is when you attach the copy of the passport and send it to the Interpol. You got to have a charge sheet to send to Interpol.
We have sent the escape. What's stopping you from charging it? Because flight is an area that's not
Exactly, Honorable Senator. And if you will, when we reach the point where withdrawal charges, like I said, between now and the end of the week, those who are around will definitely be charged.
Okay.
No quick. Senator Bill Crowley and Senator Coker will close, and we have a motion.
Thank you, Pro Tem. Thank you, members of the National Security Committee. There is a belief that in all countries where the issue of drugs take place, security apparatus is normally used as a conduit for conveying the drugs. People will tell you that no serious drug dealer will enter a country with all the help of people in the higher bracket of the security apparatus. Have you identified anybody of influence, national influence, especially as it relates to the security, who is involved with the process?
Senator, that information was not released here at this point.
On the issue of Michael Brown, who was, I think, indicted or convicted. When did he escape from prison or from the court?
Senator, once we play our part and turn them over to the court for prosecution, that's where we can unless the call for witness issues. So whatever he did with the court, when he had who stand for him, all that can be answered by the court, sir.
There's a public belief up there that he left.
My brother, with my police permission, I will ask you Angie or follow up on that offense. Please, with your permission. A court, when a matter is before the court, by the government of Liberia, the court can always release people.
Senator, I'm not that familiar with the processes of the court, but the prosecutors from the Ministry of Justice will be able to speak directly.
But the acting minister is going to come over.
Yeah.
You go declare answer in our for the question.
Particularly.
Yes.
So I'm here.
Yes.
The question was asked previously about Michael Brown, being that he has been involved in 2 instances, and I mentioned to the body that I didn't have the information now concerning Michael Brown, but that I will give the information and then I will give it forth. Now the issue of whether on the issue of whether who releases people when they are convicted or sentenced. So for the Ministry of Justice, our job is to keep people when the court says keep them. So if release orders are sent, by the release order, before anyone is released from detention, if the person is on bail, is the court that will issue that release order and then will release the person.
Madam Acting Minister.
Madam President, can I have information?
Yeah, when somebody is convicted, they are convicted with time. Correct?
Senator Victory, they have the permission for intervention. All right, Senator, they don't let us know. All right.
Madam Acting Minister, when somebody is convicted by the court, they are prescribed sentence, jail time. So if they are sentenced within the prescribed jail time, before then, can the court just release them as executive officer of presidential power?
The Ministry of Justice that happens to be the custodian of all inmates will not or should not release any inmate without the court's authority. Before a person is released, the person is released from our custody with the permission of the court. They will send a release order and will release.
Look, you didn't answer the question. I'm convicted for 5 years.
Yes.
The judgment, verdict, rendered, judgment issued, court sentence in 5 years. Without presidential power within the 5 years, can the court on its own issue release and the justice minister release the person?
The court can order release for probation, for parole, the court can release.
So there are reasons.
Yes. There will be stated reasons for which a person can be released.
So when you're investigating how Michael Brown was released, those information should be provided.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get information.
President, I want to challenge the RGP on this Michael Brown issue. Michael Brown was already in prison on a previous drug indictment. When Michael Brown needs something in this drug case, Michael Brown disappeared from the central prison to avoid providing information. If this RGP or any information that he was released by a judge, then I'll believe everything he said today.
So that's why. That's why we have asked the Judicial Committee to take charge and start a whole new hearing in the matters around issue. Yeah. I've instructed the Secretary of the Senate to do the communication to the committee and the hearing should start ASAP as soon as possible.
Thank you. But the information up there is that Brown was in prison. When he came up for this case, some people contested went to the prison and let him go so that he can be around to testify and call some names that he shouldn't call. Wow.
But as a RG,
we really have to take.
But as a witnesses, yeah, but they ask. They put right before us. Ask them.
Honorable Senator.
For them.
What?
The reason I was asking for the time, when was he in prison, when was he released, and when did he escape, was based on the fact up there that Brown was in prison, and when the case came up, some hierarchy went and freed him and told him to escape because the presence here would be detrimental to the case. So I'm asking that question, but
No, the number was there.
So we are comment on that. Yeah, this is something that.
Ask your question.
He already asked
the question. When did he leave prison? When did he escape from the
prison? We're part of the committee investigation.
Permanent means like that they can stay and call and
will repeat the question.
They're answering the question.
Honorable Senator, you asked for members of the Joint Security. And if we have added correction, knowing the information that you just provided that he was in prison and mysteriously left the prison. I don't control corrections.
Corrections.
So I will definitely not know who, when, or how.
Order with them.
There's assistant minister for correction.
Correction is on the minister of justice.
The court that released Martha Brown. Yeah. Now you first told I was in court.
I told you you are under the custody of the court. You have been turned over to the court in previous stuff. I didn't think so the court released that. I said you were turned over to the court. I was working when we tell you what to do.
You said if I would quote you verbatimly that the lawyer went to the court and signed for me.
So maybe you're mistaking.
Maybe I didn't hear you well.
But listen, are you all just a citizen?
Yeah, we all wait for the IG. So let's leave the interaction with the military and the IG.
Senator,
yeah, everybody have their time. So let's hear from him.
This particular line of question is specifically targeted at me, but for a reason known to those who are asking. Notwithstanding, I'm going to answer the question from Martha Brown how you left the court. But somehow you put him up and said,
Nobody is accusing you except you had that perception.
Use your microphone, Senator. IG, do not argue with the senators. Do not argue with the senators. Use your microphone. Senator Koga is recognized for his honors in the school.
I said
It wasn't a relief.
it was the acting minister.
Senator Military.
Yeah.
For progress. Madam Protem.
Yeah.
I believe the assistant minister for correction, the person responsible for the prison, they are in this country. They are in Monrovia. We have
So we have asked the judiciary let me give some of the minister of justice. Let me we just elevated this particular subject to this issue. We've asked the judicial committee. We've asked the judicial committee to treat it as a separate issue, separate investigation. So we have elevated this issue. During that investigation, all of these suggestions you're making will be a part of that investigation. Speak to the judicial committee. Yeah, if you have any information. Yeah. And we need a report for the judicial committee next week, Thursday. This is an investigation. You know you have to do communication. Next week, Thursday, we'll follow all the hearings. Said our military is done. Senator Koga.
Thank you very much. Our distinguished chairman on national security, defense, and intelligence, I want to say thank you for your fast sighting there. My first question go to Colonel Diago. Who recommended you?
Senator, thank you for your question. In the space of the Security Council, I don't know who recommended it, sir. But I believe I recommended my histories in the law enforcement.
Are you taking pay as GA's acting director?
No, sir.
You said?
No, sir.
How can you serve in a position of trust that you're not taking salary? You don't think you will involve into corruption?
I'm an ethical police officer. I said making my police officer salary. But I'm still officer in charge.
So who do you report to?
I report to the Minister of Justice.
RG, Honorable Snow posted a question that you visited once in London. Can you tell when the previous drugs that landed in London allegedly, based on your professionalism, did you capture the dates and correlate between your visitation in London and with that of the drugs taken from here to London? Question.
So, Senator, you're asking about the previous shipment?
Yes, sir. The previous shipment.
Okay. So, as far as we have seen, there was a shipment of similar packaging on May 22nd that was shipped through the same cargo beings destined for London. We have not destined for Germany, May 27th, destined for Germany. The June 5th drop was destined for London, which was seized at the RIA. Immediately after the seizure, that was when I went to London to meet with the NCA and other international counterparts in London.
What is NCA?
The National Crime Agency.
Okay.
The drug you said left on May 27th.
I didn't say drug left on May 27th. There was a package similar. That means the same we have a black box with the yellow tab, the zip tab and cord on it. The same thing as per the camera that we've seen. On May 27th, similar package there. One of our chicken soup and lapa, cassava flour, as they quoted on the airway bill. We are only supposing at this point in time that because the airway bill is consistent with the same stuff, they may have been in accordance. But we haven't got any report from that side that have greater sophistication that it was seized there.
That is the question. Why?
Now,
it's a cartel. It's a cartel. That is the question.
according to your explanation, you said Brown is alive. Yes, so means China said he left, right?
Well, he's not believed to be in China. It's believed that he left China, and the indication of him leaving China is that he did board the flight, he checked his luggage in. If you board the flight, even if at any point in time you miss a flight and you read that word, your luggage, once you start the flight, it continues to your final destination. The luggage came to that bureau, which is a clear indication that he did board the flight. And if for any reason he hadn't gotten the flight in China, he would have taken a luggage on.
Now, if for instance, Samuel Boga boarded a flight and he loaded his money, hypothetically, he only boarded the flight and later decided to stay. You understand? Or if Brown actually boarded the flight and they go in Monrovia, is there any information for the immigration that he landed in Liberia?
There's absolutely no information from immigration. All the flight manifests
He has gone there in transit.
Yes.
That's why in transit. And you will receive by a man there.
Madam President, in the first case, most of the mistakes that happen, in appointment or appointed positions, our oversight is weak on it. But drug enforcement agency in a country is a power entity.
For somebody to be double dipping, he working as police, and see that he wearing DA uniform, and then he's now appointed officially. There's a escape route. We need to take seize of the matter and write the president that he should appoint or nominate somebody in that position. Not later than this week. They're serious. And besides that, Madam Pro Tem, the police director, the NSC, the DEA, these three entities, quite frankly, these are people we trust them and give them position to make security in this country intelligent to provide any information that is unscrupulous to unearth it. For the fact that we are going at this level up to now, the state telling us say that point they arrested. I think if we want to really get the result of this investigation, these people should be suspended. When they are suspended, you will see that the honor men will get the actual information. These people, the position they occupy is a position that they can defend and protect any information that you don't get. The strategy here is to go to court. When they were around at the court, then it was maneuvered for the case to be a briefcase case. When I'm praying, I'm not using my work. These are people that we trust our position. You take the police director and say, he behaved like a lawyer. Just student who is hustling around, roll a car, and then he telling us, we should go here, we should do that. But the idea he took the books to the airport. Nothing but the law is labor and weight. The real one should tell that man clothes, let him be inside. And there must be some on protest. The government, most of the security apparatus are not giving you any assurance that the citizen will not have the misperception they got about the security apparatus. It's not only the security apparatus, the president. People are accusing the president that he involved. Because of the room these guys are giving, everybody is calculating and making decisions at your will. Under no circumstance, arrest is a deterrent. It's not to just be moved or enough of feeling, but sorry. You want to tell the would-be criminal that we are not joking here, we are decisive. That's all. Arrest a man, put him in jail. That deterrent, all those that link with him that doing this, they will be afraid we use like just a cartel territory. It's not happening, it's shooting him. Then they see the man moving here and there. As my police rightfully said, people who taking push around, they grabbing them with a dirty clothes, putting them in police car. Then the men in clean clothes wearing necktie. Using our country as a drug traffic point, transit point to carry out. Then the people who entrusted with power are telling us say they becoming legalistic. When I'm pro joke aside. What I'm telling you, I'm speaking from the background of security. If these people are suspended by the president within 1 week, if those involved in the drug cartel, if the Nina surface, don't respect me anymore. Don't respect me anymore. I'm telling you the story. You understand? What I'm not. No, let me tell you something. So, my protest, nobody wants to hear myself dialogue. I'm saying what I'm saying. But at least you speak a matter of fact here. Who we trusted about power here under the do you have a
you have a way and you respond.
It's so inconvenient.
They respond.
You just speak to them. You're telling me I speak loosely? My protest. Did you hear the man say I'm speaking loosely? I mean, we're all facts. The man said I'm speaking loosely. Police, you're fact. That's what he said. Where I sit and where I say, I had a privilege. I'm be Very clear we are the privilege. But what we say here, let me tell you something. If I was somebody who is somehow sentimental or not sentimental, but somebody who is selective, those two individuals that are talking about the NSA director from Lima, the DA acting director from Lima, does that her NSA was personality? Then you look at me telling me say I'm talking loose.
Did he say that?
It's an insult. Yeah, he said it.
No, but
He
they
said it.
have that being said to a sitting senator.
So
we'll
reach that level. But so to tell you that RG, I'm not targeting you. I'm not targeting you for you to insult me.
No, that can't be tolerated.
If I'm sending here people who are my citizens and in various position, I'm saying that there will be action in me, I'm not assured. So that you don't know. The tendency in this country, well,
President Duncan, Senator Joko, you have a presiding here. I said let's wait until Senator Coker ends his statement.
This drug issue, if the president will take action, we ourselves will be pointing finger at the president. It can buy international image. Why Liberia should always be used as a drug point. During Valentine, the running drugs here, the French label interceptor A.
Senator Coker, continue.
The point of order is.
Senator Coker, continue. You're not recognized for the order. Senator Coker, please continue.
The issue we should not sweep it on the carpet. Seriously. You don't think about joke to say the money for our country, the money for this, they will not have everything. It's spoiling the country. That sentiment